bread on me. Bet on my bacon, big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my own way.
Select the team you want to join.
All day, look at me, baby. Look at me, baby.
Start your season.
Like $1 million, I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott. Took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Third and long for Cousins. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, fourth quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
We're about to find out. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This one taken from the 7. Then he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block. But they're helping out, too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So they're on that play. Offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend there?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he will find the open man as Jamon Moore. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Rodgers now on 1st down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Rodgers to throw once more. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
And now out comes Minnesota. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front. Yeah,
let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Following the interception, Cousins, Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kyler Fackrell in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw, Rodgers. And he rifles one incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Rodgers to throw. And His throw's going to be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Cousins finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. Here's Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Kyler Fackrell in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Throwing is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Now they're just trying to do anything possible to try and get the ball downfield and get into field goal range.
And with that clock dwindling, they felt the need to take a pretty big shot there. Unfortunately, couldn't complete it. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
319.
Now Rodgers. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Now a run with Cook. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big 1st down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that 1st down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
Brandon, all things considered, They have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
On this drive so far. It's first and 10. On first down, Rodgers. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Ben Gideon in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. And now third and very long. Are you cautious here?
I think you have to be, because the first mantra of any football game is don't lose it. Then you give yourself a chance to win it. And if you go ahead and force something now, take a big shot that doesn't pay off, you didn't help your defense out at all.
Yeah, especially here in overtime. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
We got three down. Hey, fella, we got 3. Let's go.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Packers, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down.